Alexa, turn on the lights.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to Life of Soph, and I've just been sat here for about 10 minutes deciding whether or not I should have the Christmas tree lights on. I've gone for yes. I know they're a little bit blurry, but hopefully they're not going to be too distracting for you. So on the theme of December, end of the year, I thought that today I would go back over 2022 and look at all the cool things that I did during the year. I kind of made a decision at the start of 2022 that I wanted to have one cool thing to look forward to every month of the year, and having gone back and looked, I have done pretty well actually. I didn't have something for every month, but I did have something for most months, and also a lot of months I had more than one thing. I also wanted to talk to you about the things that I have got coming up in 2023, and also some of the things that I would really like to do in 2023 but have no plans to yet, so stick around for that. So we'll start with January, and in January the main thing for me is that I finished at my previous job and I started my new job. So I've been there for nearly a year and I am absolutely loving it. If I hadn't have quit my job in 2021, then I would have had something else to look forward to in January, and that is that I went to see Waitress the Musical on tour. I went by myself and I really enjoyed it actually. It was quite a kind of light-hearted, fun musical. And I probably would go and see it again, but I wouldn't necessarily rush to see it again. The songs were good, the acting was brilliant, and it was a little bit of a kind of corny cliche storyline, but I enjoy that. I didn't have much planned in February, but the thing that I wrote down was actually that my sister and I did an escape room, and we've done all of the rooms at one place that's local to me. And I think this was the final one that we did, and it was like an Egyptology style room, and I had really been looking forward to doing it. I don't really know why we did that one last, when it was probably the one that I wanted to do the most, but we did do it. We didn't get out of the room though. Moving on to March, my partner and I finally went on our first holiday abroad together. When we first got together, it was about a year and a half before COVID, and I had already planned my second Disney holiday with my sister at that point, so I was saving up for that rather than us going abroad together. So we went to Paphos in Cyprus for a week. Sod's law, it was the 1 week that it was cold. I think it was colder in Cyprus than it was in the UK, which was a real shame. I was in a coat and absolutely freezing cold all week. But it was nice to have a change of scenery, and we stayed in a really fancy hotel, so that was really nice as well. I have nothing for April, unfortunately. Apparently I didn't do anything fun in April. In May I had an exam, which obviously is not fun, but it was something that took up quite a lot of time revising for it and then getting it done. I eventually passed with 69%, which was a merit, and if I'd gotten 70, then I would have gotten a distinction. So I was a little bit gutted that I was 1 mark off a distinction, but I was at the point where it was so difficult, I was just happy to have passed, to be honest, and so to be on the brink of a distinction, I was pretty happy with that. Other than that, I got to go to a fancy award ceremony with my new job, so I had an opportunity to get all glammed up and go and have some food, have an evening chatting with colleagues, and it was a really good night actually. I really enjoyed it. If you've been watching my videos for a while, or if you've gone back and watched the oldest videos, then you'll have seen my boohoo haul of all the formal dresses for the event. It was for that award ceremony. So actually May was also the month that I started my YouTube channel. So I'm now 8 months old. It's kind of crazy because in a way it feels like much longer than that, but in a way it also feels like it's been no time at all. This is the point when we're probably going to start getting into things that you may have seen in videos. So in June I went to London for, I think it was 3 days and 2 nights, but if you've seen my London vlog, you'll know all about what happened there. And something else that was really fun was I went to see Six the Musical, which had kind of been on my radar for a while because everybody raves about it, and I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend that you go and see it if you're a fan of musicals. Moving on to July, this is when I was offered my second job, which is teaching at the university. I've mentioned it a couple of times. However, if you've seen my musicals video, then you will know that I also went to see 3 shows in July. So firstly, I think it was Witness for the Prosecution at London's County Hall. That was the only non-musical. A week or 2 later, I went to see School of Rock in Liverpool. I can't for the life of me remember what that theatre was called. And then finally, I went to see Chicago at Oxford's New Theatre. They were all great, would definitely recommend all of them. My favourite was probably, I'm tempted to say Chicago because I am a sucker for a musical, and then Witness for the Prosecution, and School of Rock was probably my least favourite, although I did really, really enjoy it. I haven't got anything for August either. I mean, I do tend to try and avoid doing things in August because it's the summer holidays and there are kids everywhere. So that's my excuse. And my other excuse is because in September, my partner and I went to Thailand for 2 weeks. Thailand was amazing. And I think for me, whenever I go on a 2-week holiday, it kind of feels like that's the rest of my life now and I'm never coming back to normal life. Do you know what I mean? If you do, then drop me a comment and let me know. We spent a week in Khao Lak on the mainland, and then we went down and stayed in a place called Karen, which is near Phuket on the island. We did loads of really cool things, and I've actually put up a video of the highlights from the Thailand holiday. And if you're interested, then stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll leave a link to the highlights video. If you're interested in the Thailand content, I've got a lot more coming this year, so keep an eye out for that and make sure you press subscribe so that you know as soon as it comes out. October is when my life started to get really busy. The number one thing for this month is that my sister and I went to see Darren Brown on his tour. I can't remember what it was called, the most recent tour, and that was at Oxford's New Theatre again. It was really cool, but really mind-bending. Like, I never fall for that kind of stuff normally. I'm too controlling, I think. But part of it I seem to have fallen for, although I'm not entirely sure that I believe it. I don't really know, but it was really amazing. And then that evening we had a get-together of all the females in the family, and we had a takeaway and a catch-up, and it was really nice because I don't live that locally to the rest of my family, so it was so nice to see everyone. I also had 2 awards events with my work, so we were nominated for 2 different awards and I went to both. At one of the events we were nominated for 2 awards, we won one, lost the other, and at the other awards events I think we were only nominated for 1 and we came highly commended. In November I had another exam, so again a lot of my time was spent revising for that and then obviously doing the exam. But again, if I had to pick one fun thing for November, it was Alton Towers. And again, I did a video of kind of an overview of our afternoon/evening at Alton Towers. I went with my mum and my sister and we went to kind of have a look around the Christmas market, do the lights trail, which they call Lightopia. We also did a few of the rides. I haven't been to Alton Towers since I was a child. It must have been at least 20 years since I've been to Alton Towers. I had absolutely no recollection of anything there. And again, I'll put that video at the end of this one, so if you want to see an overview of what we did, then you can. And then finally, the fun thing to look forward to in December is going to Waddesdon Manor with my mum and my sister. Every year we like to go out somewhere and have like a Christmassy afternoon tea and do a lights trail or something like that. Alton Towers was kind of a bonus for us this year, so we went to Waddesdon and had afternoon tea, looked around the Christmas market and also did their lights trail as well. Again, I did a video about that, so I'll pop it at the end, so if you're interested in that, you can go and see it. Fun fact, I'm actually filming this before we've been to Waddesdon, so I hope that video is good. So that was my 2022 in review. I think I did a lot of really cool things last year, and I'm very fortunate that I got to do so much cool stuff. So moving on to 2023, I actually don't have very much planned so far, so I've actually made a list of all the months, and I've got 2 things for certain on there and 1 maybe. So the 2 things that I've definitely got booked in are, of course, my Florida trip with my sister that's coming up. We are so excited. We're going to be staying at Universal for a few days and then we're moving over to Disney, so we can kind of do the best of both. We have had day trips over to Universal in the past, but we kind of just wanted to stay on site, have a bit more time to see everything, and then move over to Disney afterwards. Oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait! And then I also recently booked to go and see, I think it's called Vardy versus Rooney, the Wagatha Christie trial. So this is a play taking place in London. It's at the Ambassadors Theatre, I believe. And it's based on the actual transcript from the court when the whole Rebecca Vardy and Colleen Rooney defamation thing was going on. I really wanted to see it and I was gutted that the tickets were limited and it was all sold out at wherever it's playing at the moment. And so when I saw that they were going to extend the run in April, May, I could not resist and I booked myself a ticket. I have got something provisionally booked in, which is the Wicked UK tour. I've never seen Wicked. It's been on my list for over 10 years and I've just never gotten around to seeing it. So the fact that it's going on tour and it's going to Birmingham, which is not too far from me, I can't miss it. Surely I can't. So I would love to go and see it. I don't think the tickets are out yet, but as soon as they come out, I will be booking myself a seat and I will almost certainly be going. In terms of some of the other stuff that I would like to do next year, a lot of it's theatre. Basically, I don't know why, but whenever I think about what I want to do next year, theatre is always what comes to mind. So I am a huge fan of Hamilton. When it came out on Disney Plus, I was just transfixed. I thought it was amazing, and I've watched it so many times. I love the soundtrack, but I would love to go and see it. And similarly, I am a huge Back to the Future fan, and I still haven't seen it, so again, I would love to go and see that in London as well. On a similar note, I've seen that Come From Away is going on tour. I have been to see Come From Away, and it was fantastic. It's so uplifting. Considering it takes place against such a dark backdrop of 9/11, it's really about the human experience and how people can really be there for each other in difficult times, and the music is amazing. Oh, it's just such a great musical. I feel like the next thing leads on quite nicely. So many of you will be aware that Taylor Swift is going on an Eras tour in the US, and she said that there will be worldwide dates coming out soon. My sister and I are desperate to go and see it if she comes to the UK. If she does, I feel like it's probably going to be like a London, Manchester, Glasgow type thing. And if that's the case, then we'll probably just go to London because that's going to be easier than Manchester for us. So Taylor, if you're watching, which you won't be, but if you are, please just release the dates already so we can get it booked in and know that we're going. I feel like these two things are a bit more of a kind of like shot in the dark type thing, but they are travel. I've got this thing in my head about going to Disneyland Paris at Christmas. I don't know why, but also I'd kind of had it in my head that I might book to go next Christmas, and I don't know why. And especially because I'm going to Disney World next year anyway, I feel like I probably can't justify it. But I would love to go. I've never been to Disneyland Paris, and what could be more magical than going to a Disney park at Christmas? And then finally, I would really like to go on a cruise. I've had it in my head for a little while that I'd really like to go on a cruise, and it's just kind of never really happened. My partner and I did talk about doing a 2-week cruise in the Caribbean instead of going to Thailand this year, and I can't remember why we decided to go to Thailand rather than the cruise in the end. But I just really want to go on a cruise. And that is what is on my 2023 wish list. If you've got anything that you would really like to do next year, or if you've got anything fun that you've already got booked in, then please tell me about it. If you enjoyed this video, please do press the like button, because then this video will reach more people. If you want to watch one of the videos I talked about, then I'll put them all up here, and don't forget to press my face if you would like to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!